I'm currently disconnected. This is Let's Make Stuff. Let's make some armour. Come on! Okay, the first thing you're going to need to do is download the template, and there's a link in the description box below. And once you've printed out all those pages and put them together, it should look a little something like this. Next thing you're going to need to do is cut that out. Once we've done that, we're going to make a few alterations from the original Vegeta armour. First thing we're going to have to work out is the cup size. So grab something roughly the cup size you want, heat up some foam, and then press the foam down over the top of it so it leaves the same shape the item you've pressed it down on. Then you're going to need to grab a bowl, and we're going to trace around those and cut them out. Keep that bowl handy because you're going to need to do the same thing with the chest piece we just cut out earlier. When it comes to the style of your Dragon Ball Z armour, feel free to make any alterations you want. Just remember to keep the original template handy so you've got something to go back on. Now you can see here I'm cutting out the main piece. I'm just putting those cups in, lining them up. Once I've got them in place, I'm also going to make some minor alterations, give it a bit of a more streamlined shape. We're happy with how that looks. I'm going to cut that one out on the top. And we're going to flip it over, trace it, and that way we're going to make sure that the same is happening on both cups, so it looks nice and even. Okay, so next what we're going to do is lightly drag the ruler along the top here in the middle and just heat that with a heat gun. That's going to give us those classic ridges that the Vegeta armour has. Okay, so now we're going to glue those cups in place, and what you're going to need to do is just put just a dab, just a nice thin layer of contact adhesive on both sides. Let that dry for a sec till it's nice and tacky, line them up and put them in place. And while those are drying, you can work on the back by dragging the cutting implement over the top and then hitting it with a heat gun, and that'll bring those back ridges up. Now we're going to line up the piece we've been working on with the rest of the armour. I'm going to work out what we want the straps to look like and where they're going to join in. So line those up together. When we're happy with the way that looks, grab yourself a marker and just work out, okay, how thick do I want the strap to be, and whereabouts I'm going to join them onto the cup. Just remember, when you're making an alteration to one side, flip it over, and that way you can make the same alteration to the other side, so it looks nice and even. So once you're happy with the way that looks, cut those pieces off, make sure they're nice and even on both sides, stick them on, and remember to reinforce them on the back with some hot glue. Now it's on to the Velcro straps. 3 straps or 2, it's really up to you. But when you're happy with where they're placed, just make sure the armour and the foam lines up on both sides, join it together. It's time to make the shoulder pieces. Again, it's up to personal preference. Just remember, once you've made one, flip it over so the other one looks exactly the same. Now the underside of this foam had some raised ridges on them, so I needed to smooth those out so that they'd be nice and flat when I glued them on top of the armour. Here it is here, and then I'm going to coat it in some Plastidip, and then after I've done that I'm going to coat it in a couple of coats of gold and white paint. Now for the thigh guards, pretty much the same as the shoulder pads. Make sure they're identical, score them with a nice blade, and then heat them up so that it looks nice and nice. Here I have, I've sprayed it before I've put the piping on. In a previous video I've used piping before. I tried a different technique this time, put the piping on afterwards. Here's the gold on the back as well. Once you're happy with the way that looks, it's time to add the piping. That's going to accentuate all the different features of the armour, really make it pop. Now you'll notice in previous builds I've put the piping on first. This time I thought I'd try something different and put it on afterwards. It took about the same amount of work and effort, so it's totally up to you whether you want to put it on before you paint or after. And don't forget, grab yourself some thick elastic, hot glue some loops around your thigh guards, and you've got yourself an easy to make belt as well. And here's the final product. I did need to do a few touch-ups here and there with some white paint, but after that I sent it off to Simone, who was the person kind enough to sponsor me to make this for her, and I think it looks pretty cool. Thanks, Simone.
And there you go, your very own Dragon Ball Z armour. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Remember to comment down below and tell me what you'd like me to make, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.